I can't tell if folks like this do this to get a video response or if they're legitimately this ill informed. Because not only is this well known, not only is this easily researchable, but I know I've done a few dozen videos on the subject matter, and I'm not the only person. There are people much deeper into this that do much better work on this subject matter than I do. So the fact that you keep repeating this lie, and that's what it is, you are repeating a lie. I don't know if you're doing it intentionally or you legitimately don't know what the truth is, but you are repeating a lie. This person says, well, you're wrong. If you purchase anything at a gun show, you must pass a background check to actually obtain the firearm. No, you don't. And he goes on to say, surprised this dipshit and his bullying and hateful community are still sit the fuck down. Time to go to class. We're going to talk about gun sales at gun shows. Unregulated gun shows can be a magnet for gun traffickers to obtain large quantities of weapons without any background checks. Guns purchased at gun shows are much more likely to be used in criminal activity. Now, before we get too deep into this, if at any point in time this begins to go too fast for you, just hit pause, drink a little lemonade, and have a child help you. Under federal law, unlicensed or private sellers aren't subject to many important gun safety laws, such as the requirement to conduct background checks on firearm purchasers. As a result, gun show events featuring many unlicensed sellers can offer a dangerously attractive source of weaponry for people who know they would not pass a background check or who wish to conceal their involvement in gun trafficking and other criminal conduct. In most states, unlicensed sellers at gun shows are not required to conduct background checks, maintain sale records, or comply with waiting periods and other public safety protections, making it far too easy for illegal purchasers to immediately obtain large quantities of weapons and do harm. 22% of gun owners don't check background checks. Millions of guns are sold each year without a background check, no question asked. 22% of gun owners bought their latest gun without undergoing a background check. Gun shows are events dedicated to the display and sale of firearms and firearm-related accessories, often held at public venues like fairgrounds or civic centers. Gun shows operate as temporary, largely unregulated markets for gun sales. Thousands of people attend the more than 4,000 gun shows held in the United States each year. Firearm purchases from gun shows account for an estimated 4 to 9% of annual firearm sales, and 3% of gun owners report acquiring their most recent firearm from a gun show. Many of the gun transfers that take place at gun shows do not involve a background check, making straw purchases and illegal gun sales extremely common there. The ATF investigations at gun shows have resulted in arrest for many serious offenses, including straw purchases, sales of firearms to people convicted of felonies, and possession of prohibited firearms like machine guns and sawed-off shotguns. An experimental study of gun shows found sellers willing to participate in transactions that they clearly believed were straw purchases. Importantly, studies suggest that gun show regulation can deter illegal sales. For instance, one study found that straw purchases were significantly more common at gun shows in states with little regulation, Arizona, Florida, Nevada, and Texas, than at gun shows in California, which regulates gun shows and requires background checks for all firearm transfers there. Because most gun shows are unregulated, they have become an attractive source of weapons for people looking to circumvent background checks and other gun safety laws. Unsurprisingly, then, guns purchased at gun shows are disproportionately used in criminal activity. Studies indicate that guns purchased in states with weak gun show regulations are particularly likely to be used in crime. Data from the ATF shows about 8,300 crime guns recovered by law enforcement every year are originally sold by licensed dealers at gun shows. In ATF firearms trafficking investigations between 2017 and 2021, gun shows, flea markets, and auctions were the trafficking channel used in 3% of cases, but were associated with the highest mean number of firearms trafficked per investigation. ATF also found that firearms sourced from gun shows, flea markets, or auctions were in the top 5 trafficking channels for investigations involving intrastate and interstate domestic trafficking and U.S. to foreign trafficking. One study measured an increase in firearm deaths and injuries in California communities within convenient driving distance of Nevada gun shows, a state where there are no explicit regulations on gun shows. By contrast, researchers measured no increase in gun deaths of injuries following gun shows in California, where there are multiple laws that govern the gun shows. These results suggest that California's gun show regulations may help to deter illicit firearm use. So no, you are wrong. You do not have to pass a background check in over 24 states if you buy your gun at a gun show from a private collector. You don't even have to give them your fucking name, let alone pass a background check. If you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, stop fucking talking about it.